Do you recognize this phone? Yes, it's the iPhone 5 from Apple, released in 2012. By the way, do you know Apple's story? More than 35 years ago, two friends, Steve and Steve, founded their company, Apple Computer. Their objective? To sell computers on the mass market. The Apple I was born from their garage depths and allowed them to earn their first salary, $250 little dollars each. A first try that quickly becomes a master stroke with the Apple II, which will be sold at 2 million pieces. A good reason to worry IBM, back then the leader on the market. The Duet tries to distinguish itself from the others, showing a modern image close to the people, and it tries to put some color into this bleak universe. And it works! The 80s begin very well. Apple sells more than 4 million shares during its entry into Wall Street, and surfs on the wave of success. In spite of some wrong notes like the Apple Lisa, the company was the youngest one to rank on the Fortune 500, and offers to itself a huge advertisement stunt during the Super Bowl final in 1984. Apple announces to the whole world the birth of the Macintosh, even before the distribution of the Mac Plus. Both of the Apple historic founders, Steve Wozniak and Steve Jobs, moved on. Jobs was even driven to do it, the blame on his strong character. The company, managed by the ancient boss of Pepsi, focuses its attention and efforts in the development of tools specialized in graphics and publication mass marketing. Always avant-garde, the brand with the Apple even creates the first laptop, but which weighs 7 kilos. A disadvantage quickly corrected, since 2 years later, the PowerBook arrives with its 2.5 kilos. And the innovations keep on. Riddle, iFit in a hand, iMobile, Tactile, Who Am I? The Newton. We're only in the middle of the 90s, and the mass market has some difficulty in adapting itself. The Power Mac range appears in 1994 with PowerPC processor. In 1998, back in Apple since a few months, Steve Jobs announces the iMac. Death of the player, birth of the USB ports. It's a first, with which announces the Internet era. The 90s highlighted the strong comeback of Apple beyond the personal computer. In autumn 2001, Apple launches on the market its own musical player, iPod, and its platform iTunes. The iPod, developed under different ranges, sold nearly 300 million pieces in 10 years of distribution. But the big revolution of Steve Jobs appeared in 2007 with the iPhone. A smartphone equipped with a tactile screen, the internet, and many other applications. Hundreds of iPhones will find buyers in only 4 years. During this time, Apple doesn't give up on the iMac and its MacBooks. It continues to forge ahead tactile by introducing the iPad. Its detractors now criticize it for its ultra-capitalist management and the systematic locking mechanism of its products, and yet, in 35 years, Apple has won its bet, becoming one of the most famous brands in the world.